Oh, no. I was doing better alone, but when you said hello, I knew that was the end of it all. I should have stayed at home. Cause now that I'm letting you go, am I falling in love with the one that can break my heart? Oh, no. I was doing better alone, but when you said hello, I knew that was the end of it all. I should have stayed at home. And now they ain't letting you go. Am I falling in love with the one that could break my heart? I swear, that's a perfect encapsulation of my life as a Jets fan. Oh, come on. Let's get this show on the road.
Do I sound like I'm joking? Do I sound like I'm playing? When you look into my eyes, you understand what I'm saying? Let me say it to you slowly, and it may sound scandalous. I don't think that you can handle this.
Once again, we are on. I'm the great Mike Steph. TheMoJoKing is still on vacation. And this is Hidden Gems Football, brought to you by the mighty 19 Media Group. This episode, I am going to be talking about and giving you all the news that you can use for the Monday night matchup. Matter of fact, the Monday night doublehead matchup. First game on deck would be the Buffalo Bills going down to Dirty, going down to A-Town to face the Atlanta Falcons. And the nightcap, if you will, would be the Chicago Bears going to our nation's capital to face those Washington Commanders. Commanders. Yes, I said Commanders because I was about to say commie. But no, they're Commanders. Unlike no political talk. Yes. So, where should we begin? Well, first and foremost, I'm going to begin doing something that maybe I should have did a couple of episodes ago. I'm going to give you a little recap of what happened last week on Hidden Gems Football when it came to certain prognostications. And I guess since this is Hidden Gems, I feel like I really do need to give a hidden gem, and I know they're gonna burn me, but I will go with the Panthers over the Dolphins. Part of it is because I'm bitter from last night, but also I just for some reason the Dolphins still aren't that good. They just beat a trash team in the Jets. And some would say, well, the Panthers aren't that good. Well, at least the Panthers got a win before the Dolphins did, and they're at home. So, and it's a short week for the Dolphins. So it's a 1.5 point spread. It's really a pick 'em. So if there was any time you could pick the Panthers, this might be a time to sneak them through. Because, especially now that Tyreek Hill is gone for the season, it might be an opportune time. So my official pick would be Detroit. My hidden gem pick would be the Panthers over the Dolphins. Yes. And you can't have one side without the other.
I might have used them last week. The other game I'm looking at, and I probably won't touch this in Survivor, but I am looking at it strongly, is the Giants going to New Orleans to face the Saints. The spread there is already flipped. The Saints are now 1.5 point favorites. The line started out with the Giants as the favorite, but that was before we knew that Malik Neighbors was out for the season. Granted, I just said with Miami, I'm not worried about Tyreek Hill, but with the Giants, I am very worried without Neighbors. As good as Jackson Dart looked last week, well, actually, to me, I don't think he looked very good. I think he caught the Chargers off guard because he was a runner, and I think they weren't really prepared for what he was doing. It was impressive that they got the win, but I wasn't really impressed. I think that Jackson Dart's going to set this team on fire, especially now that he's lost his number one receiver. Meanwhile, the Saints have been steadily not good, not even decent, but they've been steadily annoying to pretty good teams. I feel like at home, they might be able to squeeze out a victory versus the Giants. Probably won't play the Survivor, but I may bet on the Saints.
Well, those of us know how those prognostications came out. The reason I'm doing that is because I am that much of a stinker. Trust me, That's more like a warning shot because I know when he comes back next week, he's going to be fully loaded, if you know what I mean. So, to the games at hand. The Bills, the Bills, the Bills, the Bills are favored by 4.5 points against the Atlanta Falcons. The over-under for this game, the total in this game is 49.5 points. We'll start with the Falcons first. Or will we? No, we'll start with the Bills first. The Buffalo Bills lost their first game of the season to the Pats last Sunday night, 23-20. The Bills had gone an NFL record 26 games without losing the turnover battle, but that streak finally came to an end this past Sunday night. This game, they had 3 turnovers. Buffalo had been averaging 30 plus points per game in their first 4 games of the season, all wins. So what? If they go below 30, they lose? I don't know. Maybe that's a trend to look at. Josh Allen was the leading rusher for Buffalo with 53 yards. James Cook was held in check for most of the game, totaling just 49 yards on 15 carries. Head coach Sean McDermott shared with the press this past Monday that Keon Coleman was benched for the first series against New England for disciplinary reasons. He did not specify what that reason was. While he held the receiver accountable, McDermott also emphasized that it was to help him grow and develop as a person and as a player. Growth and maturation that leads to consistency more than anything, McDermott added. And like anything else, if you have winning habits, it leads to winning on the field. And so that's really what we're trying to create. And that's what we're trying to do here is help young men, in this case, grow, mature, and develop and become professionals. Now, on the Atlanta point of view, the Atlanta Falcons are 2-2 coming off their first and only bye of the season. Bijan Robinson has been named NFC Offensive Player of the Month for September. Robinson led the league with 584 yards from scrimmage in September. He's also number 5 in the league with 314 rushing yards and number 2 in the league amongst running backs with 270 receiving yards. Robinson was the only running back to record at least 110 yards from scrimmage in each of the first 4 weeks of 2025. Michael Penix Jr. is coming off a monster performance in a win over the Washington Commanders before their bye. Penix passed for a career-high 313 yards and 2 touchdowns. Now, getting to brass tacks, getting to my prediction. Well, I could be petty right now and just go based on my dislike, not only of Atlanta or the Atlanta Falcons, but just to really just give it to my brother-in-law, Low Fat Beat from A-Town. But I'm going to choose to remain my unbiased self. Buffalo is favored by 4.5, but they're on the road. They're coming off a loss. And tell you the truth, they were a shaky 4-0 to begin with. Atlanta looks like they found their footing. Bijan Robinson has a week of rest. They're at home. So I'm going to go against the spread, and I'm going to go Atlanta plus 4.5 against the Bills. Now, for the over-under 49.5, prior to this past Sunday night, like I said, the Bills had been averaging over 30 points per game. Atlanta's defense has been pretty okay. But the Buffalo offense, I believe the majority of those points have been based off the turnovers that they were collecting off their opponents. If Atlanta takes care of the ball, they'll keep Buffalo off the field, especially with the running game, especially with the dominance of Bijan Robinson that he's shown in the first 4 games. So, with all that being said, like I said, I'm going to take Atlanta plus 4.5 over under. I am going to go under. Now, getting into the nightcap of this Monday night football doubleheader, be the Chicago Bears visiting the Washington Commanders. Now, I'll start with the Bears. The Bears have bounced back after starting off the season 0-2. They're coming off a bye week and head to Washington to face these Commanders. Things ended in disaster last year when the Chicago Bears went on the road to play The Washington Commanders, with Chicago just 2 seconds away from being 5-2. Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels completed a Hail Mary attempt to stun the Bears. Through 4 games this season, Caleb Williams so far has thrown 8 touchdowns against 2 interceptions. Now, in a very cumbersome NFC North, you got the Lions at 4-1. You got the Vikings at 3-2. So the Bears being 2-2 isn't so bad, and they're not really far behind. So it's going to give Chicago plenty of time and room to make a push for a playoff spot in the NFC. The Bears are ranked 17th in average offensive yards per game with 328, and they are currently scoring 25.3 points per game. Now, for the Commanders, they went into LA and they were down 10-0 before storming back to claim an impressive 27-10 victory over the Los Angeles Chargers in Jaden Daniels' return from injury. Terry McLaurin has been sidelined for the past 2 weeks with a quad injury for Washington. Now, in the limited action that he has played, he has tallied 10 receptions for 149 yards and is averaging 15 yards per catch in 3 games this season. Now, right now, you have Washington favored by 4.5 points over Chicago. Over under total 50 points. Well, let's put it this way. Chicago, they're on a 2-game winning streak, but Washington has had a tougher schedule in front of them. And I think just the fact that they have played against more formidable teams, and it's at home, and Chicago's coming off a bye, this would be a referendum to me on Ben Johnson's system, Ben Johnson's program, because if they come off the bye and they're flat, that doesn't bode well for going forward with the Caleb Williams experience. But if they come out and they actually shock the world and beat Washington coming off a bye, that'll give them that little extra oomph, and they'll drop Washington to 3-3. So, do I think the Commanders are 4.5 points better than Chicago? With Jaden Daniels behind center? Yes, I do. So I'm going to go Washington minus 4.5. Over under, I am going to go over. Because I think these two teams should be able to put points on the board. Well, people, that brings us to the end of another exciting edition of Hidden Gems Football. I'd like to thank each and every one of y'all for making this here the podcast y'all choose to view and the football podcast y'all choose to listen to. Next week, we will be back together again, me and TheMoJoKing, to give y'all all the news that y'all can use and try to get you that very special coin that somehow eluded me in the first 5 weeks of this season. Hopefully, just hopefully, this week will be better than the previous weeks that we've had. So it's been a great experience, because, like I said, I'm not used to usually chopping these up, and I'd like to thank the 19 Media Group for giving me this platform to share my salty thoughts, my salty views under the banner of 19 Media Group and under the banner of Hidden Gems Football. So trust, believe, please press that like, press that subscribe, press that notification button. So whenever we drop, you will be the first ones to hear it. We drop Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, and Mondays. Yeah. At least 5 times for your viewing and listening pleasure. So with all that being said, let me sign off and bid y'all adieu. Hidden Gems Football. Hip it up. 19 Media Group. Goodbye. And guess what? There's no damn chicken this week. There is no chicken. I knew there was a reason why I was so full of glee because that chicken is not going to be on none of these episodes. None of them. Not a damn one. Love it. Love it. Love it. I love this so much. Y'all don't know how much I love this.
The 19 Media Group presentation.
So take it slow, slow motion. Been waiting all day to get you in this moment. So just take it slow, slow motion. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. All right, all right, all right. Let's take it slow, slow, slow.
The 19 Media Group presentation.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. All right, all right, all right. Let's take it slow, slow motion.
The 19 Media Group presentation.